This Sunday we celebrate the third Sunday of Easter. Easter is a season that lasts 8 weeks. This reminds us that faith is a journey, a process that we engage in, a relationship that we actively seek to strengthen. On this third Sunday of Easter, we continue our walk with the risen Christ. Most journeys hit a snag at some point. We can be sailing along a path that is open and clear when suddenly we encounter a twist in the road. And the joy and excitement that we experience at the outset of our travels can fade when things do not go as planned. When this happens, we are often unsure how to proceed, what the interruption means. Sometimes we even wonder why we started out on the journey in the first place. That is where the disciples are in their journey in today's gospel. Last week we recounted Thomas's story. This week's gospel takes place just after 2 of the disciples returned and shared their encounter of the risen Lord on the road to Emmaus. The gospel today continues that familiar reading with another encounter of Jesus. The disciples are trying to make sense of all that has occurred in this time following Jesus' death and resurrection. In this passage, Jesus reminds the disciples that he told them what would occur and why. They did not fully understand what he was telling them at the time. And as they deal with the death of Jesus and these experiences of the risen Lord, they are still trying to understand. They are frightened at his appearance among them. They do not understand how it can be possible. Jesus meets these fears and questions with mercy. He asks them to touch him, asks for food, all as if to say, I'm really here. It's me, Jesus, your teacher and friend. Trust me. Jesus reminds the disciples what they already know and opens their minds to a deeper understanding. The closing verses of this gospel resemble a profession of faith, and Jesus repeats this for them, to remind them of what they know and to remind them of what they are to do. As witnesses of these events, as disciples, they are to preach the good news. This is a reminder to trust and be faithful. In our second reading today, we are admonished to not sin. We are encouraged to be faithful. At the heart of sin is a lack of faithfulness to the love of God. Sin is more than just breaking the rules, it is turning away from the truth and love we have in God. This turning away, this rejection, causes us to go down the wrong path that is away from God and God's love. Confusion and doubt are a normal part of the process. The gospel reminds us today that when doubt and confusion threaten to lead us down the wrong path, we have an advocate in Jesus Christ who can calm our fears and keep us on track if we place our trust in him.